Hello and welcome to the second video about using Portofino 5. In this video we'll be looking at how to work with the pages of a Portofino 5 application. So in the previous video we created a simple application using the wizard from a database schema. In this video we'll start from that application and modify it a bit using the user interface. So in front of me I have the application from the previous video, and I will now log in using the default admin credentials, so that I will have the administration buttons here and here. Also will be loosely following the working with pages part of the Portofino manual, which was written for Portofino 4, but it's still pretty applicable to Portofino 5 with some differences. So we can see that a Portofino application is made of pages that we can see here in the navigation panel, and we can also discover that pages form a hierarchy. So here we have these breadcrumbs that show us where we are inside the page hierarchy, and so we can learn that we have a welcome page, we have a projects page, and we're inside the test1 project, and this is reflected both in the URL here and in the navigation panel here. And furthermore, the project's test1 page has 4 child pages. So for example here, if we click on the tickets page, we'll be seeing a page which is called tickets, which is inside the project test1, and it shows the tickets filtered according to the parent page, but this will be the topic for another video. Let's concentrate on the hierarchy here. So if we were to poke around in the projects page, we would quickly find this administration button, and here we have a children panel that shows the child pages of this project page. In this case we don't have any children. We'll later show how to add some child, but if we open one project and look at the children again, then we'll see that the detail of the project has 4 children. These are members, components, versions, and tickets, and they have 3 properties: icon, embedded, and show in navigation, that we can change. Show in navigation, as the name implies, hides the page from the navigation panel. So for example here we no longer see the members page, but we can still access it using its URL. It's just not visible in navigation unless we directly access it. So here we don't find it. The other control that we have is embedding. We can embed a child page inside a parent page. And this will become apparent here. So here the tickets page, besides being available as a standalone page from the navigation menu, is also included inside the project page. And with this trick we can easily create master detail setup, or for example include some piece of text below a CRUD page, or we can compose our application as we prefer. And finally, the last control that we have is the icon, and here we can put the name of an icon which comes from the material icons package that we can easily find on the web. Each of these icons has a name. For example, if we pick accessibility here, we can preview it here, and when we save the page it will have that icon in navigation. So that's about child pages. Now what else can we control for a page? We can control the title. For example, here I might want to call these projects with a capital P, and maybe here I can also control the icon, and maybe I can put some other icons such as computer, and we can see the changes reflected here. And this section of the configuration is the same for all kinds of pages, and the parts below instead depends on the type of page, and it will be the topic of another video. And we can also choose a template. We only have two templates to choose from. The default template that, well, it's the one that we've seen so far, and we can switch the template to this one, page with embedded pages as tabs, and let's see how it looks like. Here we have the tickets embedded page in a tab, and if we embed some other page, we'll see how we'll have multiple children in a tab view, whereas with the default template they would be placed one after the other. There's not currently any way to change the ordering of the children from the user interface, but that's a planned feature to be added. Next, we can see how to add new pages. For example, let's add some description under the projects page. So here we'll use the add new page menu, and a dialog pops up that asks a few pieces of information, and let's review them one by one. The segment is the name of the page in the URL. For example, for the projects page, this would be projects. Here we might call it description. We don't the segment must not be globally unique for the whole application, but it must be unique among the children of some page, in this case projects. Here we can choose the type of the page. We want a description, so we'll be providing a simple text page. Position, where do we want to put this new page? As a child of the current page in projects, as a sibling of the current page, so as another child of the parent of the projects page, in this case the root page, or at the top level. And in this case these two options really are the same thing, because the parent of the projects page is the top level. In this case we want to store the page as a child of the project page. We'll give it a title and an icon such as help. Okay, so now we can see that we have a description page under projects, and we can write some text here. For example, this is the projects page. Here you can find all the projects that you may work on. Have fun. Okay, now of course this is only visible as a standalone page, but using what we've seen before, we'll now remove it from navigation and embed it in the projects page. So here we see the description embedded in the parent. Oh, and we've left the template as before, so let's change that so it's prettier. And of course we can also do other operations on pages. For example, we might want to delete them, so let's return to showing the description in navigation. We can delete them or move them. For example, let's say I want to move it to the top level. Let's forget about detail for now. Now we see that description is a child of the top level. And I can move it back to projects. Here. And of course we can also delete it. And deletion is recursive, of course. As a last piece of information, that we'll see in detail in later videos. In Portofino 5, actually, the pages are often made of two components. One is the client-side component that renders the user interface that we see, and another is backend server-side component that implements the logic. For example, here the search or the ordering of the columns of the data. And these two components conceptually have separate life cycles, and they need not to match. The same client-side page could different client-side pages could access the same server-side action, but for the purpose of the user interface and the buttons that we've seen, and a one-to-one match is always expected and ensured. So only power users, experts, may make use of that separation to maybe reuse pieces of code. And we can actually see the server-side actions in the administration panel. And we can see that the wizard in this case has created one action for each page. And we can also see that actions have the same hierarchy as pages in the front end. And we'll delve deeper into these matters in the following videos. For now, that's all. And so thank you for watching this, and have fun with Portofino. Bye.